This is the new 2022 Tesla Model 3 all-wheel drive dual motor long range with 480 horsepower and about 400 pound-feet of torque. This is fast. I love this car.
What's up, friends? All right, so as you probably can guess, I am sitting in the driver's seat of a fairly brand new Tesla Model 3 long range in sort of metallic blue, which is really nice. So I'm going to give you kind of my review on it. We got it on, I guess, the day after Christmas. I went to the mall locally to pick up some Christmas gifts for my daughter with my wife, and we didn't get each other anything for Christmas, so we decided, hey, let's get something wild and crazy. We've been talking about this car, and this car in particular, for at least a year now, and with California gas prices rising to near $5 and then occasionally some places passing $5 a gallon, it just made a little more sense. So we went to the mall. There was a Tesla store in the mall. We walked in to try to determine what leasing, buying, what the options were. And basically everything's on the website, but you know, we're old school, so we want to talk to a salesperson and whatnot. We did. They basically pulled up the web browser and said, this is what you have, these are your options, and what do you want? And so we spec'd out what we wanted. The good news, we thought, was the car was going to be delivered in May, June, which gave us enough time to really sort of figure out our finances and figure out, you know, where we're going to put the money and set things aside and have it all set up in a more logical way. About the day after Christmas, we receive a text from Tesla saying, your car is ready. And my wife and I are like, what? Ready? Doesn't really seem to make sense. And trying to get somebody on the phone is a little bit difficult because everything is done remotely and through an app. But I finally got someone to call me back. And what it seems to have been is this particular model, this particular spec, this particular color was somebody else's, and they didn't pull the trigger on it. So geographically, we were close, and so we were the next on the list. And they asked us if we wanted it. Knowing that sometimes those lead times can be longer with the Tesla delivery, and the fact that the popularity, especially where I live, we decided not to risk the chances and take possession of the car. That said, that was really kind of crazy because it was going to be delivered like in the next day or so. So I had to scramble to get the financing set up. I had to get the insurance set up and a bunch of other things that we just had to do. So we did. And with that, we said, okay, let's do it. Everything is done through the app. It's really wild. I put in my insurance. I made my first, full payment. It was a $250 reservation fee, which was no big deal. But then they required $4,500 for destination and the first and whatever. So that I had to transfer and connect my bank account to the Tesla app. And then I had to upload my insurance information to the Tesla app, key in all the dates and stuff like that. And that was it. They were like, okay. So we were under the impression that they were going to deliver between, I think it was 12 and 5, 12 afternoon till 5 in the afternoon. All of a sudden, my cell phone starts blowing up. Well, not mine, my wife, because she has hers set with no restrictions. Mine, it starts to work at 7 and it goes to bed at 10. Just for work reasons, I get people calling me all the time. So her phone blew up and at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we're in our pajamas. They say your Tesla has arrived. So we live in an apartment complex. And so we walk out the apartment complex to the parking spots. And there it is. This beautiful blue Tesla Model 3 long range. And we're like, how do we even get into the car? How do we drive it? So I open up the app and it links to the car. the lights flash, the doors open, we get in the car, and we drive it into our parking spot. Absolutely the weirdest car buying experience, bar none. So that was it. We have the car. So what do we do the first day that we get it, or the first week we get it? We drive it around, and then New Year's Eve, we decide to drive up to Solvang, which is probably a 200 plus mile trip up, 200 plus mile trip back. So it's about 400 miles round trip. And we route it, drives brilliantly. And we have no trouble. Because I think, I want to say, like, realistically about $20 in supercharging to get up there and back, because this particular model has 338 miles of range at full charge, but you're not supposed to fully charge it, so we charged to 80-90%, and it was fabulous. I absolutely love the car. I will say, all right, so here's the deal. As a kid, my mother's first car was a '69 Pontiac, beautiful car. And that was my first car when she married her last husband, and I got the car, and it was the coolest car in the world to go to school and enjoy. This car, aside from that car, because that was your first car, is my favorite car ever. The tech, the styling, the performance are all amazing. 0 to 60 in 4 and change seconds. Like I said, 338 mile range on full charge. Super, super good tech. I mean, I've gotten really used to the screen. There's a lot of things when we rented one that I was confused about. The learning curve is like that, and then it levels off, and that's pretty much it. There's software upgrades, so it's the only car they'll ever own that'll get better over time. Charging is snap. I'm actually charging right now in our complex while I'm making this video, so that I can charge at home. There's a supercharging station really close, and that'll charge it from 20 to 80% in 20 minutes, which is fabulous. So I'm going to give you a little tour. I added some, I have to. I added some of my own things to it that make it individualized. I have more stuff coming, and I'll go over that when I give you the tour. I added these really kind of cool carbon fiber accents to areas that you touch a lot, because the plastic gets a little bit fingerprinty, and I'm a little anal retentive, so I don't like the fingerprint. The screen is huge, large, and configured for me. This wood grain going completely around the dash is really nice, as is the stitching in the Alcantara little armrest. Down here I put some carbon fiber here. Again, these are real touchy places. Inside here I have a little organizer for sunglasses, change, and whatnot. And then down below there's another deep bin where I keep a rag to clean the screen occasionally. The seats are lovely. They're vegan leather, but I've coated them in a special sealant that helps clean and protect them from UV. The back seats, now a lot of people complain that the back seats are really not comfortable. I had the opportunity when I let somebody else drive it to sit back there, and I really didn't think they were that bad. The panoramic roof, wow, that is pretty spectacular, and it gives you a real look out and up and gives this cabin a real spacious feel. Let's go out and take a look on the outside and show you what that looks like. So the cool thing is there's a little button here that's what lets you go outside. There's an emergency one here. The thing with that one is that, as they always say, it doesn't drop the windows a little bit when you do it, so it could damage the glass. One thing to note, that this particular Model 3 is the latest model, and it has the double pane glass, which allows it to be a little more soundproof. All right, so we're going to open this. You'll probably see the window drop a bit. There it is. And let's go outside. Going outside, you'll see the great blue color. That's what's wonderful. It automatically closes as you leave the vehicle. There's the charging station where I am. Another thing that I did was I got rid of the arrow wheels. And interesting enough, underneath the arrow wheels are the really nice aluminum spoke wheels. I got these and these because they're like straight up nuggets off of Amazon, like 20 bucks, pretty cheap. I also added mud flaps, also from Amazon. They don't come with. They prevent from splashing dirt, everything going there. More additional carbon fiber added here. The next thing I added was these carbon fiber door locks, because they have a tendency to get very smudgy, and I just think they look kind of cool. The most controversial thing that I think I'm going to do, and we're going to see how it looks, is the only thing I've never liked about the Tesla Model 3 is that front end. It actually looks better in video than it looks in real life. But if you notice here, not so much in the blue, but in the white, it looks like a beluga whale. And I understand that EVs are not supposed to have grills, but I'm having a wrap done for two reasons. One, I think it'll look cool to be done in the style of an Aston Martin. And two, this is an area that's really hit by bugs and little rocks and chips. So there'll be a bit of protection there. And if I don't like it, I can always remove it. All right, so driving the Tesla Model 3 dual motor long range. Now, first thing, you got to put it in drive. Put your foot on the brake, put it in drive. No sound, no motor. So you really don't know what's on. Now, I'm in a residential area, so I'm not going to punch it. The other thing, too, is I'm pretty positive that my phone camera will fly back into the back seat when I do punch it. It is incredibly fast. Ride and handling is totally smooth. Probably one of the best comfort cars I've ever been in. It's a little chilly out today. The seats automatically kick in because I have the temperature selected to 70, so it wants to make sure that I feel comfortable. Ride quality, like I said, is buttery smooth. Steering stiff and responsive. Just a really kind of, as a sedan, it's like a sports car. It's really pretty kind of crazy. Instant torque, power curve is terrific. And yeah, let's give it a little bit of That's what I thought was going to happen.
Okay, so that is my comprehensive review of my very own brand new Tesla Model 3. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, please hit that subscribe button. And now, enjoy the rest of the drone shots that I took.